Hey guys, so I just wanted to quickly make a video sharing some of my tips and tricks to avoiding heat damage even though I have flat ironed my hair 7 times. I do not have any heat damage, okay? And so I have been able to maintain the integrity of my hair. I know that some naturals are fearful of flat ironing their hair because they do not want to damage their hair. They do not want heat damage. They don't want to be left with this stringy, limp looking hair that it's like kinky at the roots or curly at the roots, and then the ends just look tragic, like you're transitioning from a relaxer or something of that sort. And so there are some important tips that I wanted to share to help you maintain the integrity of your hair, whether you are just flat ironing your hair once in a blue when you want to get a little spontaneous, or if flat ironing your hair is something that you kind of want to add to your lifestyle as I have. So I want you to keep in mind that I do have virgin hair, so I am speaking from that perspective, meaning that my hair is natural. It has never been dyed or anything like that. I haven't had any like keratin treatments or anything else like that. So first, let me start by saying that every step counts before, during, and after your initial flat iron. And so it's important that you keep that in mind. So the first thing that you want to do is thoroughly shampoo your hair before you flat iron. Usually on the days that I flat iron, I shampoo my hair 3 times. And that's just to make sure that any products that I've had on my hair prior to the flat iron are completely removed from my hair. And there are a couple of reasons for that. You always want to start on a clean slate because it's likely that you have products in your hair from wearing it in its natural state, or maybe you're protective styling but still keeping it moisturized, but that are not compatible with heat, okay? Same reason why you wouldn't want to flat iron dirty hair, especially if you've been putting things on your hair. It's likely that maybe some of those things are not compatible with heat, okay? Also, it's important to make sure that you shampoo your hair thoroughly after you flat iron, because a lot of the products that have heat protectants, that serve as heat protectants, kind of coat your hair. And so you want to make sure that you're removing that from your hair so that it can revert back to its natural state and not just remain coated with the silicones and all those things. The second thing is you always want to do a protein treatment before and after you flat iron your hair, because protein treatments serve to strengthen your hair and to maintain the elasticity of your hair. If you do not feel like your hair is in a healthy state and you've never done a protein treatment, or you've never deep conditioned your hair, or you've never done those important steps, don't just do a protein treatment and then flat iron your hair. So if you think, okay, I want to flat iron my hair soon, start weeks leading up to it. Start doing protein treatments and deep conditioning your hair to get your hair kind of prepped for the flat iron, especially if you don't feel like your hair is in a healthy state. You want to get it to a more healthy state before you flat iron it. And then the reason that you would want to make sure that you also do a protein treatment after you flat iron your hair is because you kind of want to restore those bonds that have been broken by applying the heat, okay? Number 3, which I kind of alluded to, is that you want to make sure that your hair is deep conditioned prior to and after you flat iron your hair. You do not want to flat iron hair that is dry and seeking moisture, because when your hair is in its flat iron state, it's even harder for you to add moisture back into your hair, especially if you're not wanting it to revert. Okay, so it's important that you deep condition your hair before and then you deep condition it afterwards, okay? Now number 4, which honestly is probably one of the most important things, and one of the reasons why I think people who feel like they've done everything right still end up getting heat damage. Number 4, make sure that all of the products that you use after shampooing, protein treating, deep conditioning your hair are heat compatible, are made to work with heat, okay? That's important. That's so important. You do not want to put something on your hair that's not heat compatible. That includes your leave-in, that includes if you want to put a moisturizer or whatever. If it's not heat compatible, you do not want to use it. And if you aren't sure if a product is heat compatible, don't use it, okay? Just don't. Once you determine if a product is heat compatible, I'm going to share with you how to determine if you should still even use it. So this is Eden Body Works leave-in conditioner. This is the leave-in conditioner that I use when I flat iron my hair, okay? And the reason that I know it's compatible with heat is because in its statement it says that it's safe for blah 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 or straight hair. So obviously in order to get your hair straight, you have to flat iron it, right? So that's how I know that this product is heat compatible. Now, I've determined that, but how do I determine if this is something I should even use? So, putting it on my hand, okay? And I want you to watch what happens. It essentially disappears. That's what you want. You want to make sure that you are using a light product. Now let me show you a product that you wouldn't want to use, even if it was heat compatible. It doesn't matter what it is, just look. What's happening? Do you see that? It's not rubbing in like the other product was. It's leaving this white casting on your hair. You don't want that because all that excess product when you flat iron your hair is going to be burnt off. One, it's going to leave your hair smelling burnt, but two, it's going to leave your hair weighed down and all type of stuff because it's excess product. You don't need that. The fifth thing, and also a very important thing, is to make sure that you are properly using heat protectants. It's not just a matter of using the heat protectant, but make sure that you're properly using a heat protectant, because I see this so often, and a lot of the times I see it and then in a next video they post or whatever, they're talking about how they have heat damage. And I'm gonna tell you. So what I frequently see is people who go section by section, okay? They spray their hair with the heat protectant and then they immediately flat iron over their hair. And what do you hear? You hear sss, and they say, oh, don't worry, it's just the heat protectant, it's not my hair burning. You should very rarely, ever hear your hair sizzle when you are flat ironing, okay? It's gonna smoke because it's burning off the product, right? But it should not go when you go down. It is not supposed to sizzle, okay? Because when it's doing that, when it's sizzling, it's a sign that you're cooking your hair. It's like if you put some grease in a pan and you heated up the grease and then you throw fries in it and it goes you're cooking your hair, okay? One reason why your hair will smell burnt, okay? And one reason why you'll end up with heat damage, because you're cooking your hair. You're putting this product on your hair. Some of the heat protectants which make your hair kind of wet, and then you're in over it. And don't do that. Please don't do that. Whatever heat protectant you choose, spray it all on your hair all at the same time. Or if it takes you a long time to do your hair, spray it on half of your hair. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. 10 to 15 is better, but 5 minutes, heat protectants are usually dry. And then, spray your top section, wait. But me, I just spray my whole head at once and I wait about 10 minutes to make sure that it's set into my hair. And then I go in with the flat iron and I don't get that in, okay? Do not sizzle your hair. Please do not sizzle your hair. Just don't do it. Now let me show you some of the heat protectants that I like to use. I know some people like to use the Tresemme Heat Tamer spray, but I personally do not like that product on my hair. So let me show you some of the heat protectants that I do like. So one of the products that I like using is the Icy Fantasia Hair Polisher. Heat Protector Straightening Spray. Smells really good. It smells kind of like a strawberry scent. It kind of smells like a strawberry type of scent. Smells really good. I really like this heat protectant. Another heat protectant that I like using is Turn Up the Heat by Beyond the Zone. This one smells good. It smells like, I can't describe it, but it has a pleasant scent. Kind of on a fruity side. I don't know what you would describe it as, okay, but this I also like. Now, a lot of people also like using the Silk Elements heat protectant spray, but I do not like the olive oil or the regular one. But when I went to Sally's, I had picked up the coconut heat protection spray, and even though I like how it works, the smell, y'all. It has like this dirty, stale, dirty scent to it. I do not like how this smells, y'all. Like, I do not like how this smells at all. At all. It's gross. I do not like how this smells at all, okay? I just don't. Now, some other heat protectants that I use on my hair when I do my leave-in, which I use a lot of products on my hair. I don't recommend it for everybody, but I still like to do the LOC method before flat ironing my hair. I just use heat compatible products and I use a light amount. So I go in with my leave-in conditioner spray, right, which I don't have over here. And then I go in with my creamy leave-in, which rubs in, doesn't leave a cast. Then I go in with my heat protection cream. There's two that I've tried. I've tried the coconut heat protection cream, which this actually smells pleasant. That spray, no, this does. But these two aren't compatible, okay? When I put them together, it leaves like these white things in my hair. Once I put the flat iron over it, it kind of evaporates, but they're just not compatible. But the other one that I like using is Beyond the Zone Turn Up the Heat protection cream. And these two are actually compatible. It doesn't leave the white stuff in my hair. And the reason that I like using heat protection creams is because they cut the drying time in half, which is important for me because I do choose to air dry my hair versus blow drying my hair. And then I use a dab of the Cream of Nature Heat Defense Smooth and Shine Polisher, just a little bit to kind of seal it all in. And I know for a lot of you, they're like, girl, you're doing way too much, but that's what I do. That's what I like doing. Haven't had any issues, but I still like to make sure that my hair is moisturized prior to flat ironing because my hair is so kinky. So I have to, in order to chase my hair, I have to be able to get the comb through it. If my hair is dry, I'm just going to be breaking it off. And so I like to still do a form of LOC. If you paid attention, it's not actually an LOC method. It's like an LCO method. But that's what I like doing, okay? Now, if you decide to blow dry your hair, please be careful because to me, that is the most damaging step of flat ironing your hair is the blow drying process. If you have kinky hair in the 4 types, okay, I have not mastered that. I don't want to master it because every time I watch a video and I see them raking through it, it makes me cringe, okay? But what I can say is make sure that you do the tension method first. Stretch out those kinky curls first. And then if you want to go through with a Denman or a paddle brush or comb or something, then go through it. But to take your curls in its shrunken state and just apply a paddle brush to it and just do not do that. Please don't do that. Just don't. And don't use too high of a temperature, because to me, a lot of the reasons why it goes wrong is because, one, you're breaking off a lot of your hair, but also this method of pushing the brush and then this high temperature is you're like destroying the elasticity of your hair, destroying it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm not gonna do it. But if you choose to blow dry your hair, be careful, because in my opinion, it is the most damaging step. If you start and you realize this is not going too well, I feel like I'm ripping out my hair, you probably are, you should probably stop, okay? Just braid your hair in small sections, tight at the roots, let it air dry, and then you can go in and flat iron your hair, because honestly, what's most important about the flat ironing process is that your hair is conditioned and it's soft. Because if you still blow dry your hair and it's dry and stiff, when you flat iron, your hair is going to be dry and stiff. So it's more about the condition of your hair than the actual like state. Oh, did you blow dry it? Did you not? No. So keep all those things in mind. I wish I had better tips for the blow drying process, but because it's something that I know is not good for my hair, it's just something that I avoid altogether. Also, the heat setting. Now, when you're flat ironing your hair, okay, start low to figure out what heat temperature works best for you for the results that you're going for, okay? Start low, work your way up. Now, to get bone straight hair, okay, if you see my videos, I never get my hair bone straight. My hair still has some poof to it, okay? But if you're going for bone straight hair, the way you can tell if it's going to be bone straight or not is by that first piece, okay? So after you flat iron it, look at it. If it doesn't look silky smooth, if it just looks straight but it's not silky smooth, adding hair on top of it, it's just going to look like that but more, and it's going to be poofy. Another way to tell is after flat ironing, just let it sit. Just let it sit for a while. Go do something else and see what happens to that hair. Does it start poofing up? Does it start reverting? Because if it does, that's what's going to happen to your entire head. And so doing that strand test, especially if you've never flat ironed your hair before, that will let you know how your whole head's going to turn out. If you flat iron in a first piece and it's dry and stiff, your whole head's going to be dry and stiff. Okay? If you flat iron your hair and it looks poofy, your whole head's going to be poofy. If you flat iron your hair and it's bone straight and you let it sit and it's still bone straight, well, if you do that same thing across your whole head, well, then your hair is going to be bone straight. So really that first piece, sometimes maybe first two pieces, you can already tell how your hair is going to turn out. Okay? So anyways, hopefully this has been helpful. I know this video was kind of long. I wanted to make it short and quick, but I got carried away. So anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. And until next time, bye guys.